Week 7 Sunday recap. The Commanders hold off the Packers. What is the Packers' problem? Hmm. I got some.
Well, I think their number one problem is they just can't stay on the field. They don't formulate long drives. Time of possession was 37 minutes for the Washington Commanders and just 22, basically 23 minutes for the Packers. The yards, they're down by 130. First downs, they're down. You look at total plays, they're getting smoked. And the cause of that is, for one, the run game's going nowhere. And for two, Aaron Rodgers is throwing little 3 yard passes downfield, and they're not going anywhere. When you look at 35 passing attempts for 194 yards, they're just not moving the ball. They can't move
Hmm.
the ball enough.
To add on what you're saying, the Packers' problem, the main problem is they miss Devontae Adams. They can't get any offense going. I said the run game performance has been very poor, and then that's not gonna that's not gonna help Rodgers open up the field so his receivers can get the ball, especially if you can't establish a run. What makes you think that I'm gonna stack the box so we can have receivers being open down the field for the defenders? Their offense has been atrocious. They haven't, like you read off some numbers, and I read some numbers too. But three rushing touchdowns throughout the season is ridiculous.
You know how bad he's missing Devontae? Once again, who had the most receptions? A running back. Check down, check down, check down, check down, check down, check down. That's why they can't move the ball. Aaron Jones had 9 receptions, 10 targets. He led the team in targets. He's the running back.
Your running back is the best receiver in your team right now, and he's coming out of the backfield every play. That's not good. You're throwing check downs. You're not getting any offense going. You're not going to win games that way. And you leave it up to your defense, they will get exhausted and they will burn out
Yeah.
eventually.
Question was, what's the problem? And I answered that. But if I had to come up with a solution, I would say to Matt LaFleur, the head coach, I would say let Aaron Rodgers do his own research and come up with his own plays, since he wants to simplify the
That's where we're
offense.
going.
Just let Rodgers do it. Just let him do it. Let him make the plays.
Carolina shuts down the Bucks, dude.
Ooh.
What do you make of their performance? And again, what did I say? Something's going down in Tampa Bay.
Clearly, McCaffrey didn't make that much of a difference when you got Deontay Foreman running for 118 yards, 8 yards per carry, Chuba Hubbard running for 7 yards per carry with 63 yards and a touchdown. PJ Walker, NFL starter, by the way, the best quarterback on that roster, 16 for 22, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. What's that? Just what was it? Oh, 0 interceptions, 1 sack. Oh, that's interesting. We say the Bucks defense, the Bucks defense. It's not like 21's that many points. You scored 3 on a team that was 1-5 coming into the game. Thomas, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Hang it up, Tom. Seriously. Why are you doing this to yourself?
No, seriously, it's bad. Throwing 49 times for 290 yards and no touchdowns, dude.
49 passes, no
Completing only
touchdowns.
32. The coach is just trying to run this whole thing through Brady. Brady is not he's not built like that no more. He's old, bro. How do you expect to win ball games this
They're
way?
not. They're not
Yes,
winning ball games. They are
the
3
thing
and
is,
4.
their offense, man. Their offense just stinks. Simple as that. There's nothing else to say. The coach needs to stop trying to rely on Brady for throwing the ball so many times. It's
How do you
290 yards.
How do you
40
get shut out by the Panthers, man? How do you get shut out by the Panthers?
taking it over to the hot hand Cincinnati. Is this game going to propel the Bengals offense going forward?
It's hard to say, Jay. The Falcons suck. I don't care what anybody can tell. They're not good at football. You can tell me whatever you want. Mariota throws 13 passes. Like, I don't understand. They run the ball 29 times while they're losing. You throw 13 passes. It doesn't make sense to me. You look at Joe Burrow, 481 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. They blitzed him twice the entire game. They have a bad O-line and you blitz twice. That's what happens. That's what you get for being stupid. That's what happens. 481 and 3 touchdowns because you want to play stupid games. You win stupid prizes.
Oh my gosh, 34 for 42, 481, 3 touchdowns. He had probably about 300 of those yards going into the half. It was unreal. Like you said, this is what you've really been waiting for, and have something like this for them where they give up, 35 points and their DBs get absolutely torched. Marcus Mariota, 8 for 13. He threw the ball 13 times. feel like they needed this type of high scoring win, this offensive game for them, to not dust off the cobwebs. They're 7 games in, but they haven't had one of those games where they put up crazy numbers. And I feel like this is one of those games where it's like, all right, take a breather. We're here. Let's continue to work off of this and progress off this type of game and, see where we're going moving forward.
I hear what you're saying, Jay, but like I said, he faced 4 or fewer pass rushers in every single snap but 2. Like, I feel like that's just a horrible, horrible game plan out of Atlanta. And it could just be ignorance on the head coach's part. It could be. But most other teams know that, and they're not going to stop blitzing. That's just a terrible game plan going in, and that's not going to happen for Cincinnati probably ever again this year. So I think this was an outlier.
The hot hand Giants continue their hot streak. Do you think they are good? They are as good as their record says.
Jay, I think they are at this point. I think they are, honestly. Like,
you don't win 6 games for no reason.
No,
bro.
I think we as a collective community, NFL fans, talk of the town, the media, the casual fan, I think we all owe Daniel Jones an apology. I'll start. Danny Dimes, I apologize for disrespecting your skill set. He's improved every single year.
I never disrespected him.
He's improved every single year since 2017 in terms of completion percentage. He's started out 56.7 at Duke, 60.5 at Duke, gets drafted 69 or 61.9, 62.5, 64.3, and then this year he is coming in at 66.7. And he's not really turning the ball over this year, which is very, very, very important. What I really want to take a look at is the total interceptions he's had throughout his career. So you take a look, 2019, 12 interceptions, 2020, 10, 2021, 7, and this year, 2. I think, he's made a lot of people shut up. A lot of people stop doubting him. And, I mean, at 6-1, there's really not much left to doubt.
But yeah, no, they got 9 rushing touchdowns on a season. They're averaging 173 rushing yards per game. You definitely can tell that the main thing of this offense is the running game. But as you can see, the passing game has been progressing for Daniel Jones. The mighty Titans capitalizing the junior Colts shitting the bed again. What are your expectations for the Titans for the rest of this season?
Jay, I just want to take a moment to just turn up because shit. Matt Ryan is out of there. Matt Ryan, we'll be seeing you, buddy. Good luck in the retirement home, asshole. 2 interceptions again. I don't know how many times I have to say this. When he throws an interception, there's no hope. And he threw 2 of them. He threw 44 passes for 243 yards. It's time for him to go. Sam Ehlinger, welcome. The Titans aren't very good. Derrick Henry, we like to, how many yards? He runs the ball every time they touch it. Like, every snap, he's running the ball. They did get the win. I give him that. But it's not really
a lousy win.
They got no offensive touchdowns, Jay. Yeah. They got no offensive touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill is a bum. Derrick Henry, he had a decent game, but he's carrying the ball so much, and to not get in the end zone, I feel like that's a good showing from the defense. Again,
the Titans, I will stand on this. They are a regular season team. I'm not a big believer in the Titans. I don't think Ryan Tannehill is a go-get-it-done guy.
They're not that good. They have peaked already with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. They have peaked. The performance like this against the Colts, who, let's face it, we're not good. We have talent, but we're not a good team overall. You scored 0 times on offense. And Henry had the ball 30 times.
It's one of those things where it's like the ceiling. They've been at the ceiling like this for the past few years. Just bumping their head, getting concussions, just playing through it and living life. But hey, guess what?
That ceiling is made of vibranium. That ain't glass. They're not getting through that ceiling.
No, they're not getting through that.
They're not getting through it.
What do you make of Dak's performance in his return?
I think he played solid. It might have been an ugly win, but I don't see anything wrong with what Dak did. I mean, it's his first game back from a thumb injury on his throwing hand, and he gives you 80% completion. He gives you no turnovers. He gives you a touchdown and 200 yards. I mean, that sounds good to me.
80%, 270 yards, 1 touchdown. We just come back, throwing hand. I'm not complaining. You don't turn the ball over. That's my biggest concern for you is turn the ball over. I know you can put yards up on the board. I know you can put the stats up. But my biggest concern is you not making that decision to make those crazy plays to turn the ball over. Ravens escaped the Browns, but after another ugly performance, what needs to be fixed in Baltimore?
And that's probably the third week in a row that they have not looked like a good football team.
Yeah, I
Maybe
know
the
what it is.
fourth week in a row. But Lamar needs to figure it out. Granted, the play calling yesterday was horrible. I think that needs to be fixed. The play calling needs to be fixed.
Do you feel like that's what it probably is?
I feel like that is the problem. I mean, Lamar Jackson's your franchise guy, and he throws 16 passes, and you run 44 times. I get that's what the scouting report says, but your average yard per carry was 3.6, so it's not like you were beasting them on the ground.
The offense is just going, but I mean, also, he has 13 passing touchdowns. There's 13 passing touchdowns on the season for the team, and they also have 6 interceptions. So it's very one of those questionable things. But 7 yards per pass attempt, throughout for the season through the game, and they're only averaging 189 yards passing per game.
Bro, I gotta say, I think Lamar's looking funny in the light right now. I think he's a little nervous with this contract coming up. I think he's trying to make the home run play rather than just take what's in front of him. One, I think Lamar needs to settle down, but I think their biggest problem is their play calling at the moment.
Back to the best quarterback in the league, Mahomes has a monster performance in San Fran. What are you seeing from Mahomes so far this MVP caliber season?
It's just Mahomes, man. It's literally, that's just what he does. I'm not seeing anything outrageous because it's become normal. 34 passes for 423 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did get picked one time, but that's just domination. That's really all it comes down to. You saw Juju's press conference at the end of the game. He said him, I believe Trav, Mahomes, and MVS played Warzone together, and they won 3 straight games, so that got their chemistry flowing, and you could see it in this game. Juju with 124 yards and MVS with 111 yards. Juju had 1 touchdown to go along with it. On the other side of things, I don't really want to talk about the Chiefs too much. We know Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. We know that team's elite. On San Francisco's side, Jimmy G. What happened? He becomes the first quarterback in NFL history to record a fumble lost, interception, and a safety all in the same game twice in one season.
Fumble loss, interception,
and took a safety.
And
he's done that twice this year.
All in one game.
And he's done that twice this year.
Twice this season.
Yes. Listen, there's no excuse for San Francisco to not be winning football games. There's no excuse. This roster is ridiculously good. There's no reason. You just brought in Christian McCaffrey. There's no excuse. If they had a better quarterback, they're 2-time champions by now. Probably, and he's considered a winner for his 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions in the playoffs. He sucks. You see what happened with LA? They were a quarterback away from winning the Super Bowl. They improve at quarterback, they win the Super Bowl. Whoa. Crazy concept, right? Your roster's loaded, but your quarterback is holding you back, so you get a better one, and then you win the Super Bowl. Crazy, right? There's no excuse. There's no excuse to not win the Super Bowl with that roster. There's really no reason to be 3-4 either.
Moving on to Las Vegas. And the Raiders turning around and make the playoffs.
No.
Go ahead. Guys, he was waiting for this moment. But
I had them coming in first in that division, by the way, just so we're clear. In the prediction video, I had them coming in first, by the way. Let's just make sure that's clear.
But it's just funny how he switched up his narrative, just because we're 7 games into the season, whatever.
I got a question for you, all right? Which of these teams are they going to finish better than, okay? Chargers, Chiefs, Titans, Bengals, Ravens, Dolphins, Jets, Bills. Are they better than any of those teams? Are they going to have a better record than any of those teams?
Well, so far we have the worst record out of everybody.
Yeah. And for the record, Sam Allinger could be gross, and the Colts could be in that list too.
I don't know. I'm not saying they can make the playoffs, but we can definitely turn it around.
Yeah, you can turn it around. But put it this way: let's say the Bills win the East, the Ravens win the North, Titans win the South, Chiefs win the West. You got to be better than at least 2 of these teams. Chargers, Colts, Bengals, Dolphins, Jets. You need to be better than 3 of them, actually.
The thing is, we can be better than all those teams.
You could be better as a team, but you already dug yourself a hole.
I know. We're taking it game by game. That's all we're focusing on. We just need Derek Carr to continue to play like how he played yesterday. Great plays, no turnovers. That was some of the best offensive drives I've seen from the Raiders all season. Between Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams, Winfro, Hollins, Mora. Like, dude, that tight end came out of nowhere. But overall, the reason why we win this game yesterday is because of Josh Jacobs. 20 carries, 143 yards, 3 beautiful touchdowns. What more can you ask for? How much does this win mean for Seattle? And how much does this loss mean for the Chargers?
Seahawks just pulled off the fastest rebuild in the history of rebuilds. Like, Geno Smith, he ain't right back. He ain't right back. Geno Smith might just be in the MVP race at this point. I mean, he's been balling this year. He's looked like if I didn't know anything about football and I said watch the games, and I would say Geno Smith is one of the best quarterbacks I've seen all year. Seattle is first place right now. So this win absolutely means a lot to them because they were not supposed to be here. And they're showing out at 4-3. Obviously, on the other hand, the Chargers, this loss hurts too. 293 yards on 51 attempts from Herbert, and you get picked. It's just, and he fumbled. It's an ugly performance from the Chargers, and this is what worries me about them. Games like this, you know, you get 0 points in the first quarter, you're already down 17-0. There's not much you can do at that point. It's a tough schedule going forward for the Chargers. It's going to be tough to continue to be over 500. It's going to be tough to make the playoffs for the Chargers. So this loss does mean a lot for them.
It means a lot.
That's a game you need.
It also says a lot that the fact that Austin Eckler, 29 carries, 31 yards, like you said, they were down, so they had no choice but to air it out. But the main problem is, in my opinion, is the fact that Austin Eckler is the leading carrier for rushing, but he's also had the most receptions for 96 yards. So that comes to say that most of these plays is probably nothing but check downs coming out of the backfield for Austin Eckler. So that means the offense isn't really getting going down that field as much. But no, it's a big loss, major loss for the Chargers. Big win for the Seahawks. I'm be real with you. I counted them out in the beginning of this season. I didn't think they were going to be this good. I didn't think they were going to win 4 games.
You know what we did? We wrote them off. But Jay, they ain't right back. They ain't right back.
That's fire. Jets win but lose Breece Hall. Will this hurt their playoff hopes?
Unfortunately, Breece Hall being out, that's offensive rookie of the year caliber player right there. That hurts a lot. Luckily, I think Michael Carter is a very good running back. The stats didn't show it this game, but I think he is a solid running back. And bringing in James Robinson, you still have that double-edged sword in the backfield. No, I think their chances are just about the same. It's ever so slightly. If they were 60% chance, maybe 55 would be the worst I would give them at this point. I think the Jets feel good about where they're at right now. I think losing Breece Hall hurts team morale maybe. And, he's a very talented player, but I think they'll be okay having Robinson and Carter back there.
No, I think they'll be fine. But not my biggest concern, but it's my biggest question mark is the performance of Zach Wilson. The performances, like you said, they haven't been bad.
Yep.
You don't turn the ball. Any game where you don't turn the ball over, I ain't mad at you. As a quarterback, if you don't turn the ball over, but you have an exceptional 16 for 26, 121 yards, and you guys win.
Yeah,
I'm not mad.
I'm pretty sure he's played 4 games and only 2 interceptions. So if you give me an interception every other game, I'm fine with that.
But how valuable is Tua to the Dolphins franchise?
Can't even put a word on it, Jay. He is the most important player on that team. He's in the MVP conversation, and I think he's probably the most valuable player in the league right now. He's not going to win the award, when we do our picks in 10 minutes. I'm not going to have him number 1 just because he's missed a couple games, but by the end of the year, at this rate, I think he will be because in the games he's played, quarter 1 to quarter 4, 4-0. In the games he hasn't played, 0-3. Wins are important, and his performances in these games have been good. He's throwing the ball well, and you look at yards per game, you look at the amount of touchdowns he has per game compared to some of the other quarterbacks. He's up there, man. He's up there. He's playing very well this year. He's playing a lot better than people expected him to play.
I think he's valuable, but not to the Dolphins franchise because they don't give a fuck about him.
That's a good point. They don't treat him like he's valuable.
Yeah. He comes back and they continue to play the way that they were playing before he got hurt. Then he is MVP conversation. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Real quick, we're going to do a top of top segment. Name our top 5 MVP candidates, our MVP ladder as of right now. I'll go first. Number one, I'm going to stick with Josh Allen despite the bye week. You know, Mahomes' numbers will look better, but Allen had a bye week. So I'll go Mahomes number 2. I will go Jalen Hurts number 3. Give me Saquon at 4 and give me Tua at 5.
I'm taking Pat Mahomes at 1.
That's fair. I
I
was thinking the same thing, honestly.
got Josh at 2. I have Jalen at 3. The only reason why I have him at 3 is because the numbers haven't looking good. They're undefeated, but I want to see a little bit more out of him in the throw game. You know, throwing the ball. I want to see him air it out a lot more. I want to see him beat on teams how they should be beating on teams considering the offensive threats they have. At 4, you know, you can throw Saquon in there. He is the reason I can say that he's partial to literally about 60-70% of the reason why this Giants team is 6-1. At 5,
Wide open spot here. This is wide
it's
open.
really wide open, dude.
I mean, bro, honestly, if you're not going to put Tua, put Tyreek.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a receiver. So yeah, we could put Tyreek. Yeah.
Hit that damn subscribe button. 5 o'clock on Monday. See y'all for another episode of Talking Time.